I still wonder what would have happened if those guards hadn't arrived in time. Maybe I wouldn't be alive to even share this. This isn't my story, but it happened to one of my classmates back when I was in 9th grade. I remember it so clearly because it shook everyone at our school. For privacy, let's call my classmate Jaden. Jaden was tall, strong, confident, and popular, the kind of guy who always had people around him. He was Asian, well-liked, and usually spent his afternoons hanging out with friends or going on dates. But on this particular day, everything changed. Instead of going out, he decided to take the bus home with his little brother, who was in 7th grade. Let's call the younger brother Leo. They got on their usual public school bus. Jaden took a seat somewhere near the back, and Leo walked all the way to the last row to sit with his group of friends. Everything seemed normal until the bus stopped again. That's when he stepped on. A large teenage boy, maybe 16 or 17, walked in. He was huge, not just tall, but heavy and strong-looking. A long scar ran down the side of his face, and what stood out even more was that he wasn't wearing any school uniform, which meant he didn't go to our school. He mumbled to himself as he walked slowly down the aisle, looking confused, almost like he couldn't decide where to sit. Jaden barely noticed him. He was busy looking at his phone. But suddenly, the boy sat down right next to him, and without saying a word, threw a punch straight at Jaden's face. Jaden was caught completely off guard. The hit landed hard. Shocked and angry, he turned quickly, ready to fight back. But before he could do anything, the boy got up and started marching to the back of the bus, straight toward Leo and his friends. Leo was the total opposite of Jaden. Quiet, smaller in size, and definite. Old woman sitting near the front shouted at him, "Hey, stop that right now." The boy paused, turned around in rage, stormed up to the woman and punched her right in the face. Chaos broke out. Screaming, people crying. Everyone on the bus started panicking. Jaden froze. His mind couldn't even catch up with what was happening. Who was this guy? Was he mentally unstable? Was he on something? But it didn't end there. The boy walked to the front, to the bus driver, and tried to punch him while he was driving. The bus swerved dangerously. It was a miracle it didn't crash. Luckily, the driver had already called for help during the mess. And as the bus pulled up at the next stop, 2 security guards were already there waiting. They stepped onto the bus, trying to calm the boy down, asking him to relax. Big mistake. As soon as he saw them, the boy screamed, lunged at them, and a full-on fight broke out right in the middle of the aisle. Punches were flying. The guards tackled him, struggling to hold him down. Meanwhile, the driver, Jaden, Leo, the old woman, and every other passenger jumped off the bus to safety. Minutes later, the police arrived. You'd think seeing cops with tasers would make the boy stop. But no, he fought even harder. When one of the guards tried to adjust his grip, the boy broke free and charged at one of the officers. That's when another cop pulled out his taser and fired. The boy collapsed on the pavement, shaking uncontrollably. He was finally restrained, cuffed, and arrested. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. Not Jaden, not Leo, not even the brave elderly woman. But that day left a permanent scar on all of us. We still talk about it sometimes, wondering, what if the bus had crashed? What if the cops had arrived just a little too late? What if that boy had a weapon? Some stories leave behind more than fear. They leave behind questions, the kind that never stop echoing.